Well, joining us now to talk about this historic day is retired Brigadier General, U.S. Air Force. There he is, Blaine Holt. And also, my old friend, there he is, Cliff May, president of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, and also former special presidential envoy for arms control, U.S. State Department, Marshall Billingsley. It's so great to have all of you guys here. Cliff, your thoughts. Where is this headed? Are you optimistic, or do you think it's a very slim chance that something will get accomplished today? Of course, we're all praying for a miracle.
Well, look, I think what has to happen is that Vice President Vance has to make very clear that concessions will have to be made. And if they're not, those Iranian leaders who are in Islamabad right now doing diplomacy will soon be back in Tehran, where there will again be targets. It has to be made very clear that the U.S. is absolutely willing and able to return to targeting the military and economic infrastructure of the Islamic Republic of Iran. If the envoys think, no, the U.S. hasn't the stomach to do that, then they will do what they have done in the past with other presidents. They will win at the negotiating table what they cannot win on the kinetic battlefield. So I'm hopeful that the instructions given to Vice President Vance are be very clear, make them understand that they don't really have any choices here, that I have demands, and those demands will be met one way or another.
You know, and in the middle of all this, Blaine, to exactly what Cliff is saying, it is interesting. President Trump and his peace through strength message, he's had so many military assets moved in theater. And also just the big breaking news that just happened a little bit ago is that Iran is now threatening U.S. warships if they go through the straits. It came out, you probably heard, Blaine, that according to Axios, at least 2 U.S. guided missile destroyers crossed the Strait of Hormuz in the last few hours. So I call this the ultimate gunboat diplomacy. Your thoughts, Blaine?
Yeah, and just to put a footnote on that, they're putting it all over, the Iranians are putting it all over their propaganda networks that the U.S. Navy turned back. Look, here's the thing. The Iranian regime, what's left of it, is playing to its number one enemy, and that's not the United States. It's the 90 million people who want their freedom and they want their country. And so all of these machinations, these demands, these positions that they have in the face of a destroyed military campaign where they have handily lost, they're just trying to cobble together the regime, which is now turning in and on itself. So where we're at now is it's not whether you're leaving, it's when you're leaving and how you're leaving power. So just let's work out how that's going to happen. We're not going to have a revenge-minded bunch of mullahs in charge for perpetuity. So we've gone past the point of no return. This is the off-ramp, and they're going to be given terms. And if they don't accept the terms, well, then we're going to blast the straits open. We're going to annihilate the IRGC as the next course of action. And we're going to stoke a revolution that needs to happen anyway with self-governance and their own selected leader.
Well, and Marshall, could all this happen? Because, boy, that would be a good plan that Blaine is laying out. Your thoughts, Marshall?
Back in 2020, President Trump tweeted that Iran never won a war and has never lost a negotiation. So Vice President Vance has the opportunity now to prove that that's no longer the case in these negotiations. But there's a very simple objective test that we can apply to the outcome of the negotiations if there is an outcome. And the real question here is, one, has Iran agreed to give up all pretense of enrichment? No enrichment. Let the IAEA back in to seize the highly enriched uranium that's still there and give them unfettered access to do anytime, anywhere inspections, as Iran is obligated to do under the additional protocol of the NPT. Number two, severe constraints on their ballistic missile and drone programs. Number three, forswear all support to these terrorist groups that they call the axis of resistance. And finally, a pledge to respect the human rights of the Iranian people. If Vice President Vance can secure those objectives, which are throughout the 15 points of the U.S. position, then he will have negotiated an outstanding outcome. If he brings back something less than that, it may be worse than the Obama administration's deal, and we will be right back into the conflict. Wow.
Well, that lays it out pretty clearly there in very, very stark terms, but it's a very important situation. Well, we're going to keep this obviously monitored. We're watching what happened there in the meeting as we speak, guys. And let's pray that he agrees to the terms, that the Iranian leadership agrees to the terms, and that they carry through with their promises for a change. That would be refreshing, too. Guys, thank you very much. Really great to have all three of you here. Very important conversation. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rita.
Thanks, Rita.
Thank you, guys.